Hey there, guys. Bradley and Jason here from Herd Mentality.
And today we'll be looking at the Linsoul GuideRay GR-i58.
So it's distributed by Linsol. The company is GuideRay. They're based out of Shenzhen, China. Uh, as seen on the box, they have a little address for them. They actually come with the address. Did you know that? They actually have the address on the box. That's pretty cool.
Pretty interesting, yeah, pretty interesting little detail.
Now you can
Not
hunt them down if they give you a bad product.
exactly. No refunds
No
will be
refunds
given because
allowed. No
you come fight
quota.
here like real men.
So, as with all first impressions video, we're just going to be talking about how these felt when they came out of the box, the you know build quality, and obviously the box itself. What kind of accessories did you get? And I mean, obviously they're beautiful, Bradley. They're absolutely
Oh, they are
gorgeous.
very beautiful. I mean, I can't quite put my finger on it, but I think the most simplest way to put it is this is definitely a statement, an art statement. I mean,
Yeah, it does feel like a
the
fashion
mixed
piece.
hues, yeah, the
Yeah,
mixed hues on the kind of I want to say a marble, like yeah, it's a supposedly a resin or
it's.
something. I don't know,
I think it's
but
like
like
yeah, it's like a more of like
it's
a
it's
mosaic looking, marbly kind of fascia faceplate
the mosaic, yeah, the
backing blue,
mosaic against the
solid
that
blue.
very nice teal, yeah, that teal
Yeah,
like
it's actually
very
it may look teal, but it's a deep aqua. It's a deep aqua.
oh an aqua. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
it's
with the aqua,
nice.
it kind of I don't know it brings about in me a sort of nostalgia.
Really?
Something I can't really quite put my finger on. I don't know why, but it's a combination that really speaks to me,
Huh.
and I would definitely give them kudos for that,
Okay.
no
Okay.
doubt.
I mean, they are definitely they look pretty, but the biggest point is, do they sound pretty, Bradley? Do you think they sound pretty? They look pretty. Do you think they sound pretty?
Well, for $50, we'd have to definitely take give that a look for sure.
But for $50, you do get a really nice cable. I will say, like just the cable itself. This preformed ear tips are not strangle your ears bad like blondes. Uh, I don't like blondes. Um,
So yeah, what can we say about the cables? Like how what's the length on them approximately?
so the length on them approximately, as I jank up the cable that I so nicely wrapped, I would say it is about 5 foot, maybe
Good
four
five
and a
feet.
half, 5 foot. I don't know. I'm using my
Considering
arm as the measurement. I have a 6 foot wingspan because 6 foot.
oh,
Um, so I think I still have a good. No, it might be 4.5 feet, maybe. So a meter and then uh, a third.
and I know
Copper
this is going to
cable with
be
silver
this is
plated.
oh
Yeah, go ahead.
I know this is going to be different for just about every end user, but for you, and if you take into factor me as a
Mm-hmm.
person, if you were to, wrap this around your ear, then snake it, behind you, and then have this like in your pocket with your phone or something,
Yeah, I've
well,
I've done that a couple times.
would that
It
would that be enough space for you to move around, or is it
Yeah,
generally? I
I
think it
I
would
was
be kind
able
of
to
restricting.
I was able to get away with going over the ear back down going down the back of my shirt into my seat pocket, the back pockets of your pants. And I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
able actually to even secure it through a belt loop. I did a minor tie in a belt loop to give just added stability to the wire itself,
Mm.
and it worked decently well. I can't say that I could completely bend over, but if you're standing, moving, looking up, down, left, right, it's long
You'd be
enough.
able to do those
Yeah,
things. Okay,
just don't do crunches.
okay.
Just don't do crunches with it. That I guess that was my first impression. Don't do crunches with these things on. Uh, the cable, nice, very soft cable. I do like softer cables, the ones that don't jank up as hard. And janking up means that when you tie them around, and as you can see, these I had them curled up on my desk, coiled up on my desk. But when you
Mhm.
tie them really tightly, what happens is sometimes they keep that shape, and that's what I say is them janking
Oh,
up.
they kind of get like kinked up and stuff,
Yeah,
kind of like a hose or
but
something. Yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
these they drape on the desk easily. Nice long. It's actually a pretty heavy cable for its size, but it's nice. It drapes
Well,
really well.
since we're talking about the cable, what can you say about the connectors themselves, the plugs?
2 pin,
Anything like that?
two
Two
pin.
pin,
Your
okay.
standard 2 pin. So uh, just taking them off here. As you can see, the connector is flush with the housing, which means you can't use a shielded or sheathed 2 pin like this, as it would just not work. But you can use any sort of other 2 pin connector with it that doesn't have a sheath. It does have a little blue dot and a red dot on the other side. So left has the blue dot, red has the right has the red dot. Man, I'm tired.
Is it the dot? Is it a dot like
For
the
indexing,
the
for positive and
Shures,
negatives.
or is it like the from what I can see, it's actually like a ring around the actual connector itself, so that once you put it in, it's kind of hidden. Isn't that would that be more correct or?
No, 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 no. Mine actually do not have that little ring on the blue side,
So
but
it
on the
looks like
red side,
it's
it's
almost
red.
like a gasket.
Actually, so what that is so I think I figured out what you're talking about. That right
Yeah, yeah,
there,
yeah.
and I pulled it up. The actual connectors themselves, the plastic that they use to hold the connectors, are clear and red, and they each have a blue dot on them to index the. I guess it would be the negative pole. I think. So it makes it really easy to go seeing the red connector and go with the right side. Aside from that, they do have an R and an L and this nice, I guess stainless. Looks kind of machined, maybe brushed. It's not brushed. It's just machined, stainless. Um, it's definitely not plastic. It's good. It's good. It feels robust enough that you could, unplug, replug, unplug, replug, unplug, replug, and you don't have to worry about it breaking. Unlike MMXC, which I hate MMXC connectors. Just do away with the entire MMXC line. Just do away with them, please. Nice
Say,
soft ear hooks. I can't say it enough. Soft ear
okay,
hooks,
all
preformed,
right.
and there's no microphonics issues, which is good. I know I had some microphonics issues with certain third-party cables, um, so I had to take off the ear hooks because the shrink wrap was bad. But these decent shrink wrapping, so I'm happy.
Say, since we were talking about the feel of the wires themselves, um, what can you say about the build, the quality, and the materials, and even the feel of the actual units themselves, the housings?
So the housing, the driver housing, it's very light, super super light. It's lighter than tins. It's lighter than the
Really?
TRNs. These are heavier than these.
Oh yeah, TRNs are pretty heavy. The
Yeah,
yeah,
and I think that's because inside you can actually see it. It's completely hollow inside. Like that is completely hollow. It only has two drivers, 10 millimeter driver, dynamic, and then one. I guess it's a balanced armature. I don't know what balanced armature they're using. I don't think they'd be using nulls for this price, but I'd have to do a little more research on that. But it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter what drivers they use. It matters how they tuned it.
you know,
And
since you've mentioned it, this is the first time I realized that it is in fact hollow.
yeah, it is.
Taking a closer
It's
look
hollow
at all,
inside.
to me, it looks like there's actually like, I know it could be stupid of me to say, but it looks like there's water in there, like ocean water.
Uh,
I think
that's
that's a pretty interesting touch. That's
that's
like a
actually
solid part.
because part of it is hollow. Like the part that goes closest to your ear is hollow.
Yeah, part of it is
Or
hollow,
sorry,
but part of
sorry.
it is
The
not.
the part of it that's closest to your ear is actually solid. The part of it that's
This is
away from
solid,
your ear
and part of it's well, yeah. This
is
that's
hollow,
hollow.
and it gives that when the light hits it just right, it does have that shimmery effect. Yeah, I mean it. Again, this
And
is an
top of the
art
color,
piece more than
yeah,
anything else. It feels like an
absolutely.
art piece, and I don't think the look is for me. I would have gone with the black version, but for some reason that had longer shipping time, so I grabbed these instead. Or Bradley grabbed them for me. Little vent for inter-ear pressure on the back of the unit, which is nice. Kind of hidden,
Where's
so you won't
that?
see
Can
it.
you? Yeah. Do you mind
Yeah.
pointing that out?
So if you look at the unit itself, and actually the pictures do not show it, but on the
Oh
back of the
no,
unit,
wait. Isn't near the top?
no, no, no. So as the thing goes in your ear like this, on the side that has the cable hook, the ear hook, that's where there's one small port in the back. Actually, you can see it on the second picture. You can see a
Yeah,
little
I
hole.
said I said at the top. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not at the top. It's actually in the middle.
that's the middle. Oh, okay,
That's the
okay.
middle of the housing. Uh, the fit and feel. This thing is comfy. I was very surprised when I pulled them out and I put the stock tips on, because I don't use stock tips, but the stock tips were super super tiny. These are tiny, like let me get my Tupperware container, and I think this is actually meant for like lunches, but I use it for IMs because I have no chill. So this is the normal tips I use, and oh my, Bradley now knows how big triple flange can be.
Oh yeah.
These things are so tiny. The tips, they're so so tiny. They come up just to the first portion of the end flange. Like that's how tiny these ear tips I'm using.
That's
They
pretty damn
provide
small.
they provide a decent seal though, and at least for me. I mean, I'm using
Really?
the medium ones for me. And the only issue that I've had with this is I have worn them for hours at a time, and it feels like the silicone that they have over that they're using on the smaller ones, it's a
Uh-huh.
little, it's not soft. There's a rough finish to the edges of the silicone, and
Does it
when
create chafing or?
yeah, it kind of feels a little bit. It gets a little bit
Yeah, I know
irritating after a
exactly what
while.
you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It doesn't really hurt, but it's like you kind of feel something. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
I don't like
definitely
that.
very very irritating. So I would still recommend uh, after a little bit, do a if you can find better ones of these, and I'll probably try to find them for myself because I really do like these. I really do like them. I haven't actually tried them with my signature go to triple flange because they already go so deep in my ear that these triple flange feel like I am going to start tickling my brain with them. Um, but I will definitely give them a go. I don't like to use stock tips, you know that, but these stock
Oh
tips
yeah,
are
you
probably
are.
some of the best that I've used.
Yeah, you definitely aren't a fan of stock tips, but
No.
this is very interesting to hear.
Yep.
Coming from especially you, a huge fan of, you know,
Triple
custom,
flange.
swapping out parts in IAMs and customizing, with like things like triple flanges. I never considered you someone who would actually ever say this, much less on our second review.
Yeah. No. No. Yeah. It's one of those, like, if you did have to suffer with the stock tips, you wouldn't be suffering. At least it's
Suffering with benefits.
yeah, suffering with benefits. That might be the suffering with benefits. There we go. Uh, it has a right angle 3.5 connector. That's I actually just I like this connector more than the Singer's connector and other right angle connectors. I like this one. It's big. It's bigger. You get more leverage on it. It still has that slippery metal, but then it goes into this plastic, and there's a bit of a bump that you can really get a good grip on to pull it out. So right angle, great for you, Bradley. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Cable is
Say,
nicely braided. Oh, I
I
like this
haven't
cable.
actually how do I say? I haven't actually used actually. Since you were just mumbling about the cable, would all right? Here's the real question: would you replace these cables if you
No,
had the choice? They're
no.
that good.
Well, if I could get another one of these, like the way it looks, another one of these, but 2.5 balanced, then
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, then I would switch out for the 2.5 balance. But honestly speaking, I
So
have,
you could say where you stand. Your viewpoint is it's the if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of things. It's
yeah,
kind of a
yeah,
it's like a good meh. It's like meh, like
decently meh,
you're cool with it. You're jiggy
suffering,
with it, you know.
pleasantly suffering,
You're definitely jiggy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There we go.
pleasantly suffering. I do want to try to find. There is a cable somewhere that I would use for this. It's a balanced cable. Am going to try this without being balanced. I have a balanced cable lying about somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I'll go find it and I'll test it out for the final impressions for it. Because sometimes some IMs do need a little bit more juice, and some open up when they're balanced and they do some interesting things. Build quality, I so far I like it. I've used it a little bit, but I will say this, Bradley, do not listen to these out of the box. Everyone, do not listen to these out of the box. It sounds bad. Like,
So definitely have to burn them in.
oh, for sure. For some reason, my pair I had to burn in for like 2-3 days.
I
Like,
mean that is I'm not 2 or 3 days. That is pretty insane. But
yeah.
I mean burning it in for IMs that's kind of a standard procedure, as far as I can tell. So
Well,
two to
it's
three
it's
days,
standard
really?
procedure for.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It was that bad when it was out of the box. It was like
Wow.
incredibly tinny and wispy or not wispy. It was tinny and shrill. It oh gosh,
Shrill.
yeah. It was
Care to
bad.
elaborate just a little bit?
Shrill. It had way too much highs. Way too much highs. It felt like it was only highs. So it
Just
just
kind of grating on your ears, huh?
yeah, yeah, very
Especially when
much
it hit
so.
high, like especially higher notes.
Yeah. Higher frequencies were definitely just not fun. Not fun at all. So,
Huh.
in the box, obviously you get the ear tips that I just threw into my big Tupperware of ear tips. You get a certificate of gullibility, i.e., your warranty card. Congratulations, you're getting the guide year the warranty. All right, cool. And then you have this thing where it's all in Chinese, so I can't understand it. But I do know that they're talking about relative, I guess, amplitudes of sound. I don't know what it's like dB, but is it like dBi, dBd? Like, I don't know the measurement that they're using. But all in Chinese, so hey, if you can read Chinese, congratulations to you. Very standard packaging, boxing. You know what? I hated this box. Actually, I now remember why I disliked it. It's because these things, right? So the way you get the IEM out of the box is this way. Yeah. So it's in there like this. And this little paper material on the back is not fully flush. So when you're trying to push it and pull it and try to, it gets stuck and you have to, there you go. It's because of this paper back. Just take away that paper material. GuideRay, just take away that paper material that's backing it and switch to completely cardboard. I think you'll be fine. But boxing's nice, easy to open, just your normal, just eh. Bloop.
Say, just to clarify, did we actually go over the feel of the GuideRay units themselves in your ear? Because we
Yeah,
did go
yeah.
over
We said they're relatively comfy with the stock tips. Even though they have this really weird look to them, it's just
because I believe you said something
it's really
something
comfy.
about how the body itself
Yeah.
it's pretty unique in your eyes. Do you mind detailing on more on that?
Okay, so they definitely do have a very CIM, so a custom IM feel to them, which okay. Here are the TRNs. TRN V90s, they still have that slight angling, they have all this other stuff, but this one over here, look how aggressive the angling is compared to that. The body is way, way bigger, like I would say twice as large. Yeah, twice as large as the TRNs, and yet they don't feel bulky in the ear. They feel relatively comfortable. I mean, they're not the most comfy things I put in my ear, but they have a very CIM feel. So if you really like that kind of seal that those CIMs really give you, then yeah, I would say these are comfy. Now time to figure out how to put my TRNs back in this little case. There we go. Ah, nope.
Say so. Is there anything you think we missed? Anything that we
No,
might want
I
to
think
cover about
pleasantly
these
suffering definitely sums it up with stock
yeah,
tips. You might have
I kind of
to,
like that.
yeah. Bradley came up with something nice.
Well, folks, you heard it here, folks. The GuideRay GR-i58s, suffering with benefits or pleasant
Suffer,
suffering, as we're
suffering with benefits. Yeah, you're right. That was the one. Suffering with benefits.
suffering with benefits. And for $50, I mean, sure, there are some things that you can definitely, of course, they're temporary, such as the burn-in period. Temporary, but you're gonna have to overlook if you're really gonna want to actually enjoy this for the price. So
I
I'd
mean, you should always
say,
be burning in your IEMs and audio
of
equipment
course,
in general. I mean, it's the same reason why the first like couple thousand miles on a car feels incredibly different than the next hundreds of thousands of miles on the car. It's just because when
absolutely.
things move, they kind of have to get into that sort of
They have to
motion of
settle,
things. They
like
have
a
to
new
settle. Yeah,
house. Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, this is the first impressions of the GuideRay. Burn them in, please. I finally got them burned in. I finally have them sounding good. Stock tips are fine. Cable is great. I mean, I even if I never use these again, like maybe I listen to them and go, okay, well, what IM am I grabbing more for like this song, or when I'm playing games or some of that. I'm grabbing different IEMs and grabbing different headphones, and which ones do I reach for the most? And that's kind of how I review it, sort of. That's how I make it in my
Now,
mind. Do I really
now
like this?
for the GR-i58s,
Hmm.
what if you could make a recommendation? I know everyone is different. Everyone has their own taste. Everyone has their own perspective on what a certain IEM would be good at. Because everyone's ears are different.
Yeah.
What kind of music would you recommend listen
For
with
this, it
with these?
feels. Again, I haven't listened to it with my triple flange. I just put them on so then I can actually start doing that. But with the normal tips that they're using, the small silicon ones, I was listening to a lot of hick hop, so country rap, uh,
Hip hop.
hick hop.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
actually that's what it's called. Country rap is called hick hop. Um,
that is new to me. I did not know there was that side of you, Jason.
there there
My
there is there
condolences.
there, there is that side of me. Yeah, you're right. But no, these I've been listening to a lot of country with these, a lot of hip hop. I think it's just something with
So
having more
for that kind of
acoustical
for
tracks with
that
a lot of
yeah
vocals.
for that more acoustic like folk type of music with
Yeah.
those kinds of vocals, as you said, that's what these are more geared towards.
Yes, and that's just obviously without putting on my tried and true ear tips. Just these. So I think
Well,
that's about all, man.
to to wrap it all up, I mean, suffering with benefits, folks. Burn the damn
Suffering with
things
that.
in, and well, this is
If nothing
what I
else, save the damn cables. Save the damn
oh,
cables. They're
absolutely
good.
save the cables. They are
Like
definitely good.
I've paid way more for cables that are way worse than this. I paid $70 for a 2.5 with a whole bunch of connectors. The thing was trash. Master up. Fix your cables.
Well, on that note, this is Brad from Herd Mentality signing off. And wash your damn hands. And back to you, Jason. Anything else you want to say?
Sneeze on everyone. Don't follow the herd.
That's one way not to do so. Thanks for watching, folks. And if you like what you have here, uh, hit that subscribe button and please like and definitely comment. We would love to hear your questions, concerns, and whatever suggestions you have.